Reliving the Extreme.
My name is Bubba Ray Dudley.
I don't need a weapon. My hands are my weapons.
This week on Reliving the Extreme, we are going back and reliving the episode of ECW from September the 27th, 1994. Nate Maxson, your host, here with you, along with my brother Aaron.
What's up, it puppets?
And ECW's own Mr. Chad Austin.
Like it or lump it is what it is.
Two great intros from you guys this week. And that being said, yeah, like I said, this is 9/27/94. Anything you guys want to talk about before we dig into this show here?
Not me.
All right, Aaron.
Not really everything.
I mean, like what? As far as the show or anything in wrestling in general? Or?
Yeah, anything in general. I mean, I know there's a lot of shit going on, but you know, with Jeff Hardy, Vince McMahon, everybody's spiraling out of control. It seems like.
I don't know. I kind of like. I don't think. I think that doesn't this sound like it happens every 10 years?
Yeah, major shift of things. Some shit goes down.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it just happens. Like it's like what they call that shit. I don't know. I'm not saying it.
Serendipity?
No.
Cyclical.
Cyclical.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it. Not on this. Not on the air. I'm not saying that.
Well, that is what it is. Go ahead, Aaron.
See they replaced Laurinaitis with?
Bruce Pritchard.
Whoa, that's the fucking. He's sitting. That dumb motherfucker. He's sitting in a fucking case in the fucking office, and it's got glass in front of it, and it says in case of emergency.
In case of emergency, release Brother Love.
Just break glass and release Bruce, whatever his name is, to do whatever he does. And I don't even know what he does. Does he actually do, like, does he book shit? Or
he's just pretty much Vince's yes man. That's literally his job. He's just Vince's yes man.
No, I mean, I'm being honest. I'm asking.
Now, at this point, he's going to take Laurinaitis' job, so he'll be in charge of talent relations.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like JR's old job, working with the talent, negotiating contracts, letting them know what's going on. He gets to listen to them bitch, so Vince doesn't have to. That kind of stuff.
So he's just the guy that takes the beating.
Yeah, pretty much. The most thankless job in that company from everything I've ever heard. And then I guess Hunter's back in NXT. I don't know if that'll make any difference, but
is that one of them gimmicks where you just kind of like you're so happy for Jim Ross that he's not there anymore?
It'd probably give him a heart attack.
I mean, didn't I text one of you guys that? I was like, isn't that like Jim Ross has got to be like, I'm so thankful that I ain't got to deal with this nonsense.
Yeah.
Either if he would, maybe if he would have been there, then both sides of his face would have looked right because he would have had like another stroke.
On the other side?
He's like, I'm counterbalanced now. I'm good.
Look like droopy dog.
Like he can ride a bicycle now and use one hand, and he ain't got to worry about using two hands on the handlebars because he's gonna fall apart.
Business just picked up, folks.
Yes, because I can ride a bicycle with one hand.
By God, I don't look like a melted candle no more.
Oh, good, John Cougar Melonhead. And you know where we're going from. Where we're going from here. From the next reference is going to be. I just haven't figured out a way to plug his name into it yet.
It's the fucking name of the show. John Cougar Melonhead.
Wonderful. All right, we started out with a bang, folks.
Sorry, I'm gonna puke, I think.
We're already off the rails. We haven't even started the show yet.
Oh my god! Sorry, John Cougar Melonhead. Funniest goddamn thing I've heard in a month.
Wow. You haven't listened to our previous shows then.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
The episode of ECW from September. Can I get this? Can Nate get it back on the rails? 27th, 1994. The
Cabrini
episode
College.
of ECW that we are discussing this week. We start the episode with the Sandman coming to the ring, and Joey is talking about the fact that the Sandman and Tommy Dreamer this Saturday at the ECW Arena are going to be in an I Quit match, and then we get a promo from Tommy Dreamer on said I Quit match. Any comments on Tommy's promo here, Aaron, before we go to the match itself?
It sucked. It was a terrible promo. I don't even know. Sorry, I don't even know what he was fucking talking about. I mean, I get what he was talking about. He's just like, I'm going to bring the horror to you because you brought the horror to me. And it's just like, it was fucking bad.
I'm trying to figure out whether that was a promo that was kind of generic or it was actually specifically meant to be for that show. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, because it was kind of ambiguous as to what he was actually talking about.
Well, I'm not questioning his sexuality. Just talking about whether or not I don't know what he was talking about. He said a whole bunch of stuff, but it really, I mean, honestly, if you're a fan, I mean, take a step back and then look at it from a fan's perspective. Did it make any sense to any of you guys?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It didn't intrigue me to want to see the match any more than I already did.
It sounded like, to me, it was something that I would, if I was walking, because I don't, my cars, I still don't have a car. So if I walk to the mall, to the pizzeria, it's just something I'd put my phone and just hear it as I'm walking down the street. And it just nothing would make any sense to me. I'd be like, all right, it's on.
Gibberish.
It's almost like a old Kevin Sullivan promo.
I wasn't a fan of it. And I know you guys, I know I'm a bigger fan of Tommy Dreamer than you guys are, but
Oof.
This promo was fucking bad.
Dude, a Roach is a bigger fan of Tommy Dreamer than I am. I'm just not a fan, period. I might even cancel my Sirius subscription because he's on Busted Open all the time now.
I'm kind of with Chad. And Aaron knows, I don't know, I just never see the appeal of Tommy Dreamer. I guess some people like him, and that is what it is. That they know different ice cream flavors for everybody, but I never got the appeal for him either.
What is it? If somebody could explain it to me.
To be honest, the only piece of business that he ever was involved in that I do enjoy his rivalry with Raven, more because of Raven, I think, and because of the story than Tommy himself. But yeah, I don't know. I've never really seen it either.
It's definitely the story, because it's definitely not the work, you know. And even if it was the work, it was Scotty, not Tommy. That you get behind, and then he would be like, do that deal where he'd fucking DDT like Scotty and stuff, and stand up and do the Raven, and a few smatterings of and I'm just being like, what the fuck, man. I don't. It's just not for it. It ain't for me. I'll just put it that way.
The match we get here is Sandman versus Hack Myers from the ECW Arena. Obviously it's not necessarily a squash, but it's a match to get, Sandman, it's for a showcase for Sandman. And
it's a good opportunity for Hack too.
Yeah. To be up against.
When I saw these guys getting ready to lock up, I was like, holy shit. Is this a pajama pants versus pajama pants match?
Yeah.
Loser loses their pajama pants.
It was a pajama party jamma jammy. they both were at a overnight at a sleepover, and Paul called him and said, I need you guys to get down here right now. Hurry up, come as you are. And they're both like, well, we're wearing our pajamas. He said, no, I don't give a shit.
I don't care.
It just comes. You're wearing your pajamas. So what?
That's fine. It's the ECW arena. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's look at it this way. It's not Cabrini College. Just hurry up and get down here with your pajama pants.
Did you guys notice in the beginning, like Sandman had Hack backed up in the corner? Then Hack almost looked like he was going to fire up, like he did like the fire up thing, and then he just stopped, and Sandman put him back in the corner and started slapping him. Did you notice that? That was kind of weird. Like I didn't know what was going on there. I don't know if anybody else noticed it.
It's not that I noticed it, but it was probably was the Shaw chant started yet?
No, that comes later in the match.
Oh, they're doing that. Well. I thought you guys meant in general, but yeah, it started, but it hadn't started in this match.
Yeah, but that probably wasn't the Shaw spot.
Right. Yeah.
So,
it was right at the beginning. I don't know. It was just kind of weird. It was almost like Hack thought he was supposed to fire up, and then he just stopped, and they went back into Sandman working him over in the corner. A little miscommunication, maybe. I don't know.
It might have been those guys thinking that the crowd would be into it sooner than they were, and just kind of be like, yeah. They don't have it yet, so let's just
because they probably didn't know what to make out of Hack. Like they weren't. I guess maybe they weren't ready to get behind Hack yet, and then Hack's firing up, and they just didn't. You know what I mean? It wasn't there yet for them to realize. Oh, there's something here. I don't know. I don't work there anymore. I don't.
As the match goes on, the crowd does get behind Hack. Woman tries to hit him with the cane shot. Then he was going to kiss Woman. He stops her from hitting him with the cane. He's going to give her a kiss, but then Sandman comes in. Hack kind of takes over for a little bit, and that's when we get the Shaw chants as he's working over Sandman in the corner. And then for the finish, Woman slips the Sandman the cane. He canes Hack for the pin, and that is that for that match. Unless you guys have notes on the match itself or anything to say about it.
It was just. The woman Hack spot was awkward. Like I don't know. I just like the match was fine, but the outside of the ring shit they try to do, it just seemed kind of awkward. It was just kind of a clunky match. I think.
Hack did have a nice spot in the match. I don't remember the actual physical moveset that it was, but I did write down that it was a nice spot. And Hack, he was good at what he could do, because I'm not gonna brag about it or anything, but I kind of trained him.
Mm-hmm.
But and then when it came to ECW, he took that on his own. That there was never a chance that I sat there and talked to him about anything that he did on. You know what I mean?
Right.
I figure you're on your own now, man. Like you've been trained. This is all you. This is you do your business.
And I'd say he ran with it pretty good. I think
he did. I think he did fine. I do.
Afterwards, they show a video of the Tommy Sandman feud set to some 70s music.
Oh no, I picked it. I think we get more Tommy Dreamer versus Sandman recap set to the theme from
Shaft.
I put Cornbread Earl and Me.
I don't know about Cornbread Earl and Me.
It's the theme to. It sounded like the theme song to fucking Cornbread Earl and Me.
I thought it was Shaft.
Nope, it's Cornbread Earl and Me.
All right, well, I gotta. When we're done this, I gotta look that up.
Which one of these guys is Cornbread Earl?
And who's me?
It's not Cornbread Earl. Cornbread is his own person, and then there's Earl, and then there's Me, which Me was Lawrence Fishburne. You don't know that movie?
Well, I don't know about Lawrence Fishburne. I know who Lawrence Fishburne is.
Yeah, I have an Ohio accent. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I was watching you on my favorite new YouTube show, the World's Worst Neighborhoods.
I live in it right now. There's a fucking dog.
I think I saw Aaron on there the other day walking to the store, and I'm like, "Hey, wait a minute, is that one of the guys I do a show with?" Just carousing to the convenience store to get cigarettes or something.
But this Sandman Tommy Dreamer fucking video it's a recap of a recap of a recap set to a remix of Shaft and Cornbread Earl and Me, and it was unnecessary because you guys just already they already put over the angle that we were watching. It's like, this was stupid.
So basically, what you're trying to say was here we go. They put a hat on a hat.
Yeah, hat on a hat. And like you said last week, Chad,
they put an Archie Mitchell and an Archie Mitchell.
It's my job to drop the Archie Mitchell reference. He's your friend.
Gimmick infringement.
Yeah, he's your friend. You can do it anytime you want to. I don't even know who the guy is. It's my job to drop an Archie Mitchell. There you go. Reference. Come on, man. Don't be stealing people's gimmicks. All it's going to get you is heat.
After the Tommy Dreamer Sandman recap, like Aaron said, the hat on a hat recap of a recap, we get another Too Cold Scorpio promo talking about Shane Douglas. Of course, as we've said in the past, Too Cold, great wrestler, poor promo. This is
Hey, whoop, there it is. I'm gone. That's how he ended it. He said, hey, whoop, there it is. I'm gone.
The only thing that I could write about that was, a Scorpio promo. And then I wrote a slash. That's never good. I mean, seriously, he stuck around till like 2:00 in the morning. 3:00 in the morning for this
to say, hey, whoop, there it is. I'm gone.
I made a decision.
That's what you came up with.
I made a decision. I didn't do it during this promo, but I made a decision that going forward until Too Cold leaves ECW, I'm going to write down verbatim how I did with Sal. I'm going to write down verbatim what fucking Too Cold Scorpio cuts in his promos and read them back to you guys. So next week, that's going to happen. Until he leaves, I'm going to write down every Too Cold Scorpio promo.
Can't you figure out a way to take this Too Cold Scorpio promos and then superimpose them into a Sal Balomo video and make it look like Sal Balomo saying it?
Too cold Balomo.
Too cold Balomo.
I don't know how many names the show's going to have, but we're working on. That's our whole new show. Is working on new show names.
And then after Too Cold leaves, I'll put together the Too Cold Scorpio promo omnibus.
Okay. Yeah. We have an omnibus now?
Or as Cornette says, on the bus. I love that.
I would say both of them are probably on a bus.
I don't even know what that is. You know what? I've looked that shit up, and I don't even know how to do it. What the fuck is it?
Just call it the Too Cold Scorpio on a Greyhound.
Yeah. Yeah. Too Cold Scorpio don't have a driver's license. Or Too Cold Scorpio in an Uber.
Driven by Sal Balomo.
I'm going to get you to Swanson in a written.
And Scorpio is just like, yeah, bro. Yeah, I don't fucking know.
I'm going to get you to Church's Chicken. He's like, whoop, there it went, man. You don't test it.
He's like, Digital Underground, Salt and Pepper, Sayonara. Yeah.
Oh Lord, I don't know what's going on up over there. Like now. I mean, now's the time that I'm just begging for. Like, why is Sal Balomo not still here? He was like one of the bright spots of watching the goddamn show.
I would have loved that fucker being in the FBI. That would have been great.
Oh, Sal Balomo, what's the matter, you?
Sal Balomo, Tracy Smothers, Tommy Rich,
and Little Guido. Singing "Shut Up Your Face." That would have been fucking great.
Yeah, that would have been good, man. I mean, I don't know what happened to Sal. I have no idea. Maybe he was still fucking carving wooden toys at his house. I don't fucking know what he was doing. He was too busy making he was the guy who's working in Santa's shop house. Like that Christmas special they put out every year where you see the guy making the wooden toys. That's what Balomo's doing. He's out there. He wants to be a dentist.
You talking about that little stupid elf?
Yeah. He wants to be Balomo wants to be a dentist.
That's Sal Balomo, DDS.
Yeah, that's right. What's the matter, wisdom?
What's the matter, you two?
What's the matter with Rudolph?
You got a batter by cuspid. I can't. All the insides are no good.
You got the gingivitis.
Yes, that's what it is. Yes.
Well, we do see good footage of Too Cold here as they show a lot of the clips from his matches with Sabu, which we talked about months ago that were great. And then we get another recap.
Yeah, don't forget. A lot of them matches were I don't say a lot of them. a lot of the clips were from Montgomeryville.
Mm-hmm.
And that was that spot that they ran on the Friday night before the arena. And that was the test runs because Sabu and Scorpio didn't know each other.
Right. Yeah.
So they put him out there in front of, I don't know, give me a number, 300, 400.
I was going to say 300-400 people. Yeah.
And to see what their chemistry was.
And imagine, I know some of the other stuff on the show was probably hot garbage, but imagine going to a show, with 200 or 300 other people and, well, shit, you get to see this fantastic match between Sabu and Scorpio.
Flea market and fucking Sabu and Too Cold Scorpio breaks out. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
because the majority of people were going to know who Scorpio was.
Right.
So there was probably take the whatever percent of people that knew who Scorpio was, and minus that by about 60%, and then they're the ones who knew who Sabu was. And then you put them together, and then it's like, it's kind of like oil and water or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, all right, well, I'm a Sabu guy. Well, I'm a Scorpio guy, and they just to me, I thought they had. If I had to give it a grade, I would say 75% decent chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
Because Scorpio knows how to work. Sabu don't know how to work.
Mm-hmm.
Not like that.
You put them together and it's gold, Jerry. It's gold. I mean, I really like watching them work together. I wish they would have got to work together more, to be honest with you. But
I think they did. I think we did like a couple of other shows that they worked each other before. I mean, maybe that was the Guerrero. I don't know, but I could have swore they had worked more.
The next thing, like I said, is a recap. Again, another one. We're recapping what's been going on with Jason and the shooter, Dean Malenko. Malenko helping Jason in his victories. And then we get a match between Jason and Dino Sendoff. And Jason has Malenko in his corner.
It's rotten.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know. I understand, I guess, the concept of the shoot style or whatever, but that Malenko, or the Boris bottle cap is what they called it, that Malenko put onto Sendoff, didn't look like much to me. I'm sure it is. You know what I'm saying? But
it was a fucking headlock.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was a fucking front chin lock, wasn't it? Like, didn't he just grab him by the front of his head?
I was going to say, to me, it just looked like he put his arm around him like, hey, pal, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah.
Well, that speaks volumes about the credibility of Dino Sendoff.
And that's what I was going to say. In a situation like that, the guy selling it's probably the one ruining it.
And did you hear where they said Dino Sendoff was from?
No, refresh my memory.
He was from the Taj Mahal.
Taj Mahal?
Yep, that's what they said. Here's Jason, the sexiest man alive from Europe, versus Dino Sendoff from the Taj Mahal.
The casino?
Oh, was he with Jinder Mahal? Oh, I don't know. Dino Sendoff?
He's from the Taj Mahal. So apparently, fucking Dino Sendoff's Indian. I was trying to
And all this time, I thought he was from Pennsylvania.
Nope, he's Indian. He's from the Taj Mahal.
What they meant was he works at the Taj Mahal. He's a janitor.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He mops the Taj Mahal.
He has the keys to every room in the Taj Mahal on his big key ring.
He's vacuuming the carpet. He's not riding it.
You go to the front desk and you ask for the keys at the Taj Mahal. And there's
you go to the counter and you're like, "Hey, Dino Sendoff, you got the keys?" And he's like, "I can show you the world."
I mean, I'd never had a problem with Dino. I mean, personally, I've never had a problem with Dino. Always got along with him. Because he was like me, he was just a job guy there to get paid,
Mm-hmm.
And somehow I got a little more fortunate.
Now, I was going to say, did he work indie shows in the area that you worked in? Like, was he part of that crew that not necessarily ECW, but just the area that you worked in? Was he part of that general crew that worked the indie shows in that area?
Not like literally, it would be like, no, okay. I would say overall, no. I'd probably be on I'd probably be on a show that he wouldn't be on, and then in the next month I wouldn't be on a show, and then he'd be on it.
Gotcha. Okay.
But we eventually, cross paths sooner or later. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's just a fucking anomaly. Like, I don't understand how you look worse putting a shirt on. Like when he wasn't wearing a shirt, he didn't look offensive. But like the minute he put that fucking black shirt on and didn't want to fight, because he was doing that shit like Chad was talking about, where guys would get knocked down and
Pull the shirt down.
pull the shirt down. He was doing that. It's like, you look fatter without the shirt. Like, you look like fucking Pluto right now, you fat fuck. Like, just stop fucking with your shirt, or just don't wear it.
Yeah, to me, I would always be like, when I wore a shirt, and I never did that. Like, I went out of my way not to do that. I would wait till like the opportunity was right. Like, you wouldn't, like, if a guy gave me a superplex and then he grabbed me by my tights and then, he gave me a wedgie or something. As soon as we landed, I wouldn't pick the wedgie out.
Right, yeah, because the psychology-wise, if you just hit the mat, you're not going to be thinking, "Oh, my tights are up my ass." That's not going to be what's on your brain. Yeah.
So yeah, I never did that. Like, I actually went out of my way to specifically never do that. Like, never. And it's one of the things that I always taught people at the school when I train people, like, to do that shit. Do that shit at the right time, not like right after a guy gives you a superplex.
Right, when you're not the center of attention, do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The story here, of course, is that Jason, Malenko costs send-off the match, or Jason beats him quickly because of Malenko shooting on send-off. Then Malenko goes with this Boris bottle cap again, and out comes the Tasmaniac. And we get a standoff between Taz and Dean Malenko, an armbar by Malenko on Taz, and Taz with a reversal on that. Joey's really putting this over. He's doing a really good job putting this angle over, and I thought it was effective.
Yeah, it didn't hurt anything at all, by no means. It was it was not bad for business at all.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and it put forward the fact that Jason has this fucking Tasmaniac guy that he just cannot get off of him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like Tasmaniac, like Malenko wants to go forward with it and fight Tasmaniac, and Jason's like, no, this is a fucking creature. This creature, we can't fight him. It was a good deal. I liked this segment of the show.
Yeah, but just still fast forward into real life and look at a guy who's wearing a spandex singlet, with like little furry things attached to it, and he's stomping around and so what? You don't speak English? You know what I mean? Like, you don't talk at all. You just stomp. It's just kind of like, if you put it in like the real world perspective, it just seems to me like it's funny. Like,
it is. It's like when you said the furry bits on his tights, I thought of I think it's WrestleMania 21. There's a thing between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Roddy Piper, and Stone Cold caused those little things hanging off Roddy Piper's kilt. His fuzzy gimmicks, Aaron? I think he says your little fuzzy gimmicks.
No, he tells Piper, he's like, back off of me with your kilt and your little furry gimmicks.
Furry gimmicks, yeah. Furry gimmicks. And that's what I thought of when you said with Taz with his tights. He's got his little furry gimmicks on there.
And then Carlito comes out. And
Carlito was on the show?
Yeah.
Not the one
the ECW show. No, not the ECW show.
I thought that was Dino Sendoff. Dino Sendoff became Carlito? What? How long was I asleep for?
Yeah. The gist here, then, a bunch of guys come out of the locker room to break up Taz and Dean Malenko.
The guys that come out and break it up are Paul Loria, Chris Kanyon, Storm and Mike Norman, and Stevie Richards.
And Donnie Allen, because Donnie Allen eats a suplex.
Yeah. And the minute Donnie Allen eats a suplex and gets dropped on his neck, Stevie Richards bails out. He's just like, nope.
Fuck this shit.
I didn't even see Stevie.
Yeah, Stevie got in there quick and then watched these guys getting their fucking necks cracked or whatever. It's just like, I'm good.
Yeah, I saw, all the other. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out why I wasn't. I mean, like, why wasn't I involved in this?
Especially since at this point you're being managed by Jason. Like, why aren't you? Yeah, you're right. Why aren't you? But you weren't gone at this point, were you? You hadn't left yet.
No, I mean, you're not going to see me leave until the gangster.
Okay.
So we got 1996 still before I'm done.
See, I knew that you were there at some point during '96, but I didn't know if you had left and come back, or if you were actually literally there consistently for that whole time. But
well, yeah, I mean, it was all like what 3 weeks, 3 weeks of tapings, and it's like once a month or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't remember how it was, but they would just tape shit, and. Sometimes I'd wrestle 5 times. Sometimes I'd wrestle 2 times. A lot of times it was just against 911, who we haven't seen recently.
Yep, not recently.
And the only reason I put the Stevie Richards thing in it was that all these guys got killed by Taz. Like, but Stevie kind of took a bump and he bounced out. Like, I don't know if that was just by chance or was this Paul looking at like this might sound stupid or I might be thinking too much about it, but was this like Paul looking at these guys and going, you, and you go out there and get fucking beat in a powder by Taz, but Stevie, I got something for you down the line and I don't want you to get fucking choked out or...
That's probably it. If I had to guess, that's probably it.
Be part of the crowd, but don't make yourself obvious.
Yeah. It's like, I don't want you to get your ass handed to you because I got plans for you, Stevie. I don't have plans for these guys.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I mean, Paul Laurier, we don't have plans for Paul Laurier. we could do. I mean, and that's probably all Raven anyway. I don't think Paul had plans for Stevie if it wasn't for Raven. And I don't know if Raven's officially been there yet.
Not yet, no.
But he's there.
Mm-hmm.
Raven had been at a shit ton of shows before he even debuted. Like, he was there because he was doing the fucking Raven. He was doing the Raven psychological thing where.
Well, by this time he is working for Vince, but he's doing television like shit like WWF, writing WWF Mania, which that takes 6 minutes. And he would tell the people in the studio that he was at home, or the people at the arena that he was at the studio, he'd tell the people at the studio that he was at the arena and tell the people at the arena that he was at the studio, but he'd actually just be at home.
Yeah. I mean,
so he's checked out in the WWF by this point. He's done.
He's just probably fulfilling.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I said, at this point, I mean, WWF Mania takes 6 minutes to write. It's not like there's anything special going on there.
Because I do remember 95 or whatever it was that they beat him up. As far as I guess they were trying to like it was coming towards the end of his whatever first deal, and they were just making him work his ass off. Whether he was doing voiceovers on the Coliseum or all that shit, but it was like they were just getting their money out of him.
Right, yeah.
they were just making him work.
So the next thing here, another video with bad music, a video on Shane Douglas. I'm sure the original song was probably Simply the Best. This was not Simply the Best. More crappy WWE Peacock music. Aaron, do you have a description for this one, or should I just move on?
I think it was a theme from My Two Dads.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, to me, I just wrote it stinks. It stinks. It's rotten. It's pitiful, and I'm just like normally in a video in a video like that, you want to showcase the guy's accomplishments, right?
Yeah.
He was suplexing Dino Sendoff, me, Donnie Allen. Is that the highlight of your career?
Yeah, I mean, they showed him in the hotel. They showed the hotel thing with Terry Funk, but they didn't show him getting any moves or anything on Terry Funk. Didn't show any action with Terry Funk. But yeah, you're right. It's just
coincident.
What?
To me, that was a blooper reel. I wrote that, but I didn't even look at my notes to even say that. It was like a blooper reel. It was just like, what the fuck? How are they putting this guy over?
it's like if you're putting the song to it, it's like you're simply complacent.
Simply complacent.
Yeah. You're the best, but you're complacent. So we'll get you over, buddy.
You're so mediocre to me. You are so mediocre.
After this, we get a Public Enemy promo. They are discussing the fact that on Friday in Hambone, Pennsylvania, they're going to be having a baseball bat match with the New Breed. And then on Saturday at the ECW Arena, they will face Cactus Jack and Mikey Whipwreck for the ECW Tag Team titles in a rematch.
Johnny! Just enough.
Yeah.
They're fucking grown men. You know what I mean?
Speaking of pajamas, here's the Public Enemy.
They're fucking grown men. I mean, I'm not. I don't even consider myself a man because I don't have a job or responsibilities. But I still act way more mature than these fucking two goofs do, and one of them's almost 50, and the other one's 40.
And they're rapping. Rocco didn't even pick a current rap song. He picked fucking The Message.
Oh, it's like a jungle. Sometimes it makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
Yeah, he picked fucking
Grandmaster Flash,
the Sugar Hill Gang,
Grandmaster Flash, the Sugar Hill Gang, whatever. It's like, what the fuck, man?
Dude,
this was stupid.
Yeah, it's brutal because it just like, I mean, at the time, I don't know. I guess it didn't matter at the time, but when you look at it like we're looking at it now, and you're just like, that's pitiful. That's rotten. It's wretched.
It's the definition of the term doesn't age well.
He couldn't even have said, well, we're only here for OPP. He didn't even go that route.
He didn't even say, whoop, there it is, I'm gone.
No, he went to the first rap song ever. And I'm surprised he didn't say, and there's a hip hop, a hip to the hip hop.
Yeah, I was just about to say, when I show up on Friday night in Hamburg, I'll be in my Adidas.
It's gonna be a rapper's delight.
He didn't even bang a girl in the Burger King bathroom.
No. He never drank Hennessy at all. Drink up all the Hennessy you got on the shelf. Come on. That was Scorpio's job.
Fucking
God, I hope these guys don't listen to this show.
Fucking. Well, two of them are dead.
Scorpio?
Hey, no. Public Enemy are dead. We put Scorpio over enough as a great wrestler. We can shit on his promo. It's fine.
Well, I mean, I'm sure Scorpio would shit on his own promos. He knows he's not a good promo. That's not like anything that he needs to hear.
My favorite thing that I ever heard that guy say was why he got fired from WCW. They asked him, why did you get fired from WCW? And he said, because Ric Flair's wife didn't like how he, I fucked it up. He said, because Ric Flair's wife liked how big my dick looked in my Speedo. Like, he said he was at a pool and Ric Flair and his wife were walking out, and Ric Flair's wife saw Too Cold Scorpio in a fucking Speedo and was like, oh, look at the Mandingo over there. And he's like, the minute she was like, oh, look at his big dick, then he got fired.
A guy like Scorpio with a dick like that I may or may not have seen. And then when you look at him as a whole, is kind of putting a hat on a hat. Isn't it? I mean, look at them ears. He gets fucking cable TV for free just because of his ears. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole lot going on there.
Oh, shit. All right. We now have a match here between the Public Enemy against Donnie Allen and Chris Canyon. Essentially, this match results in Donnie getting put through a table on the outside, a drive-by on Canyon for the win by the Public Enemy. Nothing much to write home about.
Well, it's two tables.
Two tables.
I don't remember Canyon even being there. That must have been a one-off, right?
I didn't either until we saw him on last week's show. I never remembered him being in ECW either. So I think you're right. I don't think maybe one taping.
So that would have been
because he shows up in WCW not too shortly after this, like early '95 in the whole Men at Work gimmick.
But it doesn't seem like he had been in the business that long. I mean, because have you ever found anything on him like prior to this?
No.
Yeah, I mean, his name's never popped up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
To where I would ever be like, oh, I know who that guy is.
Right.
He must have just showed up because Paulie needed fucking, job guys.
And he looked great. Like he looked fucking better than the people he was working with, in my opinion.
Yeah, he was like taller
and built, and it's like,
and he was in shape, and he had a halfway decent tan and a lisp. I mean, other than that, yeah, he had everything except for the fact that he can't fucking do the alphabet without saying Pete.
A B C D
G. He's fucked.
Yeah, he's pretty fucked.
The only note I had for that match was actually when I asked Chad if they would have told you, because you did the one tape with Sabu, would you have done the 2 table bump?
Me?
Yeah.
Dude, I would have fucking done 7 of them. They could have had 911 chokeslam me off the Eagle's Nest through 7 tables at that point in my career. I mean, at that point in my career, let's make a note of that. That's when I was still like trying to fucking like get in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's when that shit was going on, where they were kind of like they were starting to push the envelope a little bit. But luckily for me is I got lucky, and Paul just never had plans for me to do all that shit. So I got lucky. But yeah, I mean, I would have I don't know. I mean, maybe I would have had some reservations about doing some of that stuff and said, I don't know about all this, but I bet you I probably would have done it.
Is that something where you say, they tell you the spot and you say, what's the payoff before you agree to do it?
Oh, well, it depends on who the fuck you are. If you're Paul Luria, no chance. That's not happening. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If you're Shane Douglas, you've already booked that out. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if you're guys like me and Paul Luria and like at that point, wasn't Mikey still a job guy?
Oh, he's a champ now.
Oh yeah, so yeah, Mikey's done then. So yeah, if you're the guys like us and Dino Sendoff, you pretty much just do whatever they say.
Mm-hmm.
And especially it was worse back when the Harris brothers was there. It was like it's Paul did right there. Paul did the greatest job of protecting me as far as like whoever beat me up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I was supposed to work Stan Hansen. Do you think I wanted to work Stan Hansen?
Probably not.
Fuck no. I saw my name against Stan Hansen on the thing, and I'm just walking around going, I'm
puking in the corner.
Yeah, I'm dead. And then all of a sudden it was scratched off. Then I saw my name against Kevin Sullivan, and I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to stand in the corner and he's going to fucking just run across the ring and just beat me up. And scratched, Mm-hmm. And like Paul did a great job of taking care of me as far as who beat me up until, the gangsters. So, mm-hmm. He couldn't control that shit. So I mean, Paul knew that I was a worker,
right?
I wasn't a hardcore guy.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't a you know what I mean? There's a complete difference between like if you put me into a ring and Sandman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm a worker. Sandman's just a guy who don't fucking give a shit, and he's working for the pop. I'm working for the match because I'm not the main event. I'm like Mike Jackson. Why do you think Mike Jackson's second, first, second, third on the show?
And
because he can. What's that?
they want to step over you, but it's like, why is he able to still work fucking today? Because he didn't fucking go through fucking 7 tables and do all that shit, you know?
And he knows his spot. Like, he's not going to go out there and be like, okay, well, it's, I don't know, whatever young kid that it is, and tell him, okay, well, after you throw me out of the ring, you're going to put 5 tables on top of each other. You know what I mean? He's not going to do that, because that's not the way that it's supposed to work. You're supposed to build to that
Right.
AEW shit, whatever AEW is doing over there.
After this match, we have a decent brawl on the outside of the ring. Cactus Jack and Mikey come out. It's fun to watch Cactus kind of dragging Mikey out to the ring and motivating him as they're going to the ring to get in there and fight. And eventually, he convinces him, and Mikey and Cactus hit the ring to fight the Public Enemy. They fight out into the bleachers. I thought this was effective. I think the stuff between Public Enemy and Cactus and Mikey is good stuff. Giving Public Enemy a bit of a nod there, but I think that this feud works.
No,
go ahead.
This is the first, like, ECW feud, quote unquote, that it's like it's the one that I'm like, this is the sprinkling of what Paul wants to do with ECW. Like, it's good shit. Like, it's the first real story that they've done.
And like we always say, other than Cactus, who's phenomenal no matter what, with the other 3 guys involved, you're accentuating their positives and downplaying their negatives, which is Paulie's secret sauce,
I'm not even sure anybody in that match even had positives.
Other than Jack, you're probably right.
Yeah, I mean, Mikey was greener than fucking a pepper tree, and Public Enemy, let's be honest, them motherfuckers, they couldn't work if they had to punch a clock. They didn't know how to do any fucking. They were rotten, but they knew what they could do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because like Teddy was already in his mid-40s and Johnny was 40, so it wasn't like they had a long shelf life to begin with,
right?
Because and then in that era with all the fucking drugs and like that, I never got. Thank God I never got into. You know how that went. Well, look how they ended up. I'm still here talking about them.
Mm-hmm.
This fucking cat. Oh, we got a stray cat that just keeps showing up over here. And no, go ahead. I don't know what to do about him. Like
the next deal here after that segment is we get a match between, I never write his first name down, but it's Nishimura versus Chris Benoit. The match was fine. I mean, I'm not a big fan of this Nishimura dude, but Chris Benoit's in there, so it's a fine match, which Chris wins with a belly-to-belly suplex. I don't know if you guys have any other extended notes on this one. I liked
Osamu Nishimura. I was a fan of him because Nate's favorite wrestler trained him. Or no, Aaron's favorite wrestler trained him.
Lemonhead?
Yeah. Lemonhead Funk Jr. He trained him.
Yeah, I know you kind of mentioned last week on the show that this guy was almost like an indentured servant. Like he was just like they're pimping him out around the country, trying to get him over or whatever.
Dude, that was commonplace. That wasn't anything that was new. It wasn't like, like he was the first guy to do that. Like if you go back and look, Muda did it. Go back and look in like 84, 85. All the places that Muda worked. Go back and look in 82 where Onita worked. Onita worked. Onita was in Memphis. Are you fucking kidding me?
And he did the what was it? The second. No, he didn't do the second one, but he got like inspired by the fucking concession brawl.
Yes,
that's what brought him up. That's what gave his fucking mind to do the fucking hardcore shit that he did.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, like that shit's like That's like him. Yeah, Onita worked on Memphis in 82, and then he had the fucking knee gimmick, and he was gone till what, 87?
87, yeah.
And then he came back, and then all of a sudden, 90, he worked that big fat slob, Osaka Osambu, whatever his name is. And then, he beat him up with everything he possibly could throw at him. And I'm like, that's all he did was just find some big fat slob that he could just beat up on and hit with everything that's possible. How did we get on Onita?
We were talking about Nishimura being kind of, pimped around or whatever as far as booking goes.
Oh, yeah. Because of Dory Funk.
Yes, because of Lemonhead.
Oh, that's right, Lemonhead.
Well, I called the number they had on there. It was they told you that fucking Kenichiwa Nashimori or whatever his fucking name is.
Kenichiwa Nashimura.
Yeah, they said he's gonna fight fucking Benoit and Hambone, and if you want tickets, call 215-544-0421.
Did you call the number?
Yeah.
What happened? Did you get tickets?
No, I got a fax machine.
That's the number. That's like the number to everything. Like that was their number for everything. If you go back and watch and pay attention to it, like if you wanted to order a tape, if you wanted to order a shirt, anything, and it was always the same fucking number, and it was Paul's house.
Well, now it's just a fucking rando fax machine.
It's probably still at Paul's house.
And you still got the mystery house guest. It was Maddie. It was, hey, how you doing? Is Paul there? No, but I'm in the house. I don't need to talk to you, Maddie. And you've been gone for 2 years.
So we round out after the Benoit match. We round out the show with a Paul E. Dangerously promo where he is discussing Sabu's lineup for the weekend, when he will be facing Cactus Jack on Friday and then Chris Benoit on Saturday. And, of course, this is a good promo, as always, from Paul Heyman.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I had to turn the page on my notebook, and in big letters, I wrote Paul promo. What the fuck is Paul trying to pull off here? Like he's selling this like they're going to repossess his couch or something if they don't make any money on this show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he's essentially putting it over like when you watch Sabu, it's like when you see a car crash on a NASCAR race or whatever. He's really, really, like you said, Chad, kind of what you're saying. He's using Sabu to sell tickets to this thing.
And Sabu is probably not even in the States at this point. And has any idea what the hell he's even doing.
It's up in the air if he's even going to be there.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I've worked on numerous amount of shows where, like, the show was getting ready to start, and it was like, you know how Paul is. It was there's no Sabu. He's coming, and you know what I mean. And then it would be, as a matter of fact, I'm lucky I remember this. Today is Kathy Fitzpatrick's birthday. Happy birthday, Fitzpatrick. She's one of the girls that would always pick the guys up from the airport and drive them. And I went with her, and I've helped her out numerous times working the Philadelphia terminals. How to get the guys and stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes it was just crazy. Like at that point, like ECW was starting to get to the point where I'm not going to say it was out of control, but it was starting to get out of control.
You can see it happening. You can feel it in the air, right?
Yeah, because you didn't know, you didn't know what you were doing, much less what the company was doing.
Mm-hmm.
It was show up, and then you go up on the stupid little fucking little rafter thing that Paul would sit on, and he'd be scribbling stuff down, and that's how you book your show.
At this point, is he Because, I mean, you were in the locker room at this point. Is he doing his, what do I want to say, his over-the-top, like, inspirational speeches to the roster? You know,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this is when it really started. Right around here is when it really started. When he would tell everybody that we got something here, and
in reality, he has no idea if he can even keep the lights on.
Fuck no. I mean, the fuck. And he's like, every single one of you are part of this. And I'm thinking, like, there's no chance I'm part of this. Like, what am I? You know what I mean?
He's like, we're the future. We're the future. Dude, you got $10?
I mean, every company I've ever worked for that has always tried to recreate that same experience.
Mm-hmm.
That whole entire, like, they give that little, speech gimmick. And I just laugh every time they do it. I'm like, I didn't buy it the first time I heard it from Paul.
Yeah, I didn't believe it from the Jim Jones of professional wrestling. Yeah, I'm not going to believe it from Jim Jones, the promoter.
Yeah, the reason why I'm not fucking dead right now is because I didn't drink the fucking Kool-Aid. Like, I decided that I'd rather go work for another guy named Jim Cornette than stick around here and be found fucking dead on the side of Jim Thorpe Mountain. I'm not. That's not my fucking plan here, buddy. I mean, Jim. I mean, it's pretty much the same. Well, no, it's a couple hours difference, but basically it's the same drive either way. I could drive up to Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, and have Sandman throw me off the mountain, or I could drive down to the Great Smoky Mountains and get my ass beat by New Jack before he gets arrested again.
Or let Tracy Smothers drop you like a feather.
Oh no, I ain't got a problem with Tracy Smothers. He's cool in my book. We never had a problem.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. It's like, oh, do I want fucking New Jack to stab me with a knife, or do I want Tracy Smothers to fucking treat me good? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what you want. I mean, you want everybody to treat you good. I mean, you don't want to have to deal with guys like fucking, New Jack.
Mm-hmm.
That's stupid, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you're lending your body to them, you know what I mean? And if that's the way you're going to treat my body,
Right, yeah, I'm already here to do my job and put you over. You don't have to also try to kill me or cripple me, Yeah.
Beat me up. That's just it's stupid and on so many levels, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just dumb on so many levels. It's like, we're here to like make this work, because I guess you guys have forgotten that it is a work.
Right.
I mean, some of you guys maybe haven't forgot that, but at the end of the day, it still is a work.
All right, guys. So overall, what did we think of this episode of ECW?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was compacted and it did what it needed to do. And I've said it.
Are you drunk?
A little bit.
All right, I thought so.
I think this show was good, and it was going towards what ECW is going to become.
Well, what I'm going to say is, you stole what I say almost every single show. On the same thing. I always say the same.
Are you
thing.
drunk?
No, not yet. But yeah, it's going towards where we want it to be. And this show was just complacent. Is that the word you use?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I enjoyed the Taz Malenko angle. I enjoyed what happened after the Public Enemy match with Public Enemy, Cactus, and Mikey. And other than that, the show was just kind of there.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't something that I when I turned it off, I was just like, I can't believe I just spent 38 minutes watching this shit. Like after it was over, I was like, all right, that was, what it was. It was. I mean, I guess the worst case scenario I can say was halfway decent.
Yes, and that's the biggest compliment you've given an ECW show since we started this show. So there you go. There's your litmus test, ladies and gentlemen.
It was halfway decent. It was watchable. I didn't cuss Jess. I mean, I didn't kick the kid. I didn't. I didn't.
Never take bad wrestling out on your wife and family, guys.
Oh no, that's the first people you do.
Sean Waltman.
I'm not even going there. Yeah, I mean, my cats scurry when I watch a bad segment on Raw.
It's like, ugh.
When I get up and I walk into the kitchen.
The cat comes walking in the room, sees Elias on the TV, and just jets.
Yeah.
Like,
no, they see it. It's Ezekiel.
And Chad's looking at it. It's like, are you fucking Ernest Miller? Or are you Ernie Ladd? I don't know which one you are.
Oh, that's a great gimmick right there. Ernie Ladd and Ernest Miller. Well, is Ernie Ladd dead?
Somebody call my mama, Mr. Television Announcer.
Isn't Ernie Ladd dead?
Yeah, well,
he has to be dead.
Is there a fat black cat outside of your porch right now?
He said, somebody better call my mama, Mr. Television Man.
Mr. Television.
That is brutal.
Mr. Televet.
Aaron, did you say Mr. Televangelist? Mr. Televangelist.
You called him a televangelist?
That's Billy Graham.
I think you called him a televisionist. Somebody better call my mama, you televisionist. What did you call him? What the hell is going on here? I thought you were doing a wrestling show here, and you're talking about Ernest Piangelo. Is that his name? we used to have this guy that came on before WWE in like the early '80s. He was a fucking con man of a religious dude, and he would come.
Takes all his rings off and his fingers are green. That kind of guy.
Well, I never watched them because I only caught the last 30 seconds. And then I would just hear him talking about how all his shit is, and I'm just like, dude, I'm not getting involved in all, you know what I mean? Like I can believe whatever I want to believe.
But I'm not calling your 800 number.
No, and I'm not sending you money. And I don't need your books. I mean, isn't that what libraries are for? And in this day and age, it's called the internet, you fucking idiot. I can just look this shit up.
All right, guys, we're going to sign off. It is time to end this edition of Reliving the Extreme. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Reliving the Extreme is a production of Maxson Media, all rights reserved.